everybody, hey guys, who's out there today? Welcome back to another episode of Halloween at the Manor. So we have some very exciting news today. We actually hired a Halloween consultant this year. And this man needs absolutely no introduction. He is the one and only the Crypt Keeper. So the Crypt Keeper this year will be helping us come up with all of our devious Halloween plans for 2023. So speaking of plans for 2023, that's what I wanted to talk about today. Kind of our tentative plans for our haunt outside. I really hope that this doesn't disappoint anybody, but Vanessa and I have been talking, and we are 95% sure that we are not going to be doing a walkthrough this year. Even though last year's walkthrough was very successful, and it seemed like both the kids and the parents really had a good time, which was great. As you can imagine, it was just a ton of work to get that thing up and to get it through the Halloween season. So the biggest thing was the weather. You know, it was constantly worrying about is the weather going to take it down, and at some points it did. It kind of pulled the roof in, but we did toy around with the idea of putting the walkthrough this year in our garage. However, after going out there and kind of looking at things, you know, we use our garage, we have our cars in there, you know, lawnmowers, snow blowers, we have things in there. We'd have to move everything out of the garage, then put things in, and that really just doesn't seem like a good option compared to just carrying out some of the panels and setting it up in the yard. So like I said, I really hope this doesn't disappoint anybody, but the plan this year is, and again, hopefully you guys don't think this is lame, but we are going to be doing our graveyard again this year. So what you saw last year, the setup, this year is going to be fairly similar. However, we are building some new props and some new things for the graveyard. If you've seen our last two videos, I've already built an obelisk, and we also built the broken brick front mausoleum, and I do have a couple of other ideas as well. Vanessa has actually expressed some interest in being a really creepy witch this year, and I think she already ordered like the costume and everything. So if she goes ahead with that, we'll also build a couple of things that kind of go with her character. So the first thing I thought about was like a witch's shed or something like that. So that's probably going to be something that we're going to add to the yard this year as well. Again, I really hope that you guys aren't disappointed. We will, like always, try to put out an awesome display. You know, Vanessa and I are very passionate about our display in Halloween, and we're definitely going to try to give the neighborhood something cool, and hopefully people will enjoy it. But anyway, enough of me blabbing. I am in the process of working on a couple of tombstones, and I'd like to show those to you. So why don't we go ahead? We'll go out to the garage. I'll show you some of the things that I've been working on. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Hopefully you guys will come along for the ride for the next 6, 7, 8 weeks until we get to the big day, October 31st, 2023. And we will put out these haunt update videos as we go along and as we progress, so that you guys can check it out. So why don't we go ahead, we'll go out to the garage, take a look, and let's go see what we've been working on. All right, guys, so here are the 3 tombstones that I had been working on. We'll start with this one first. This is what I kind of call like a filler tombstone. It's kind of generic, doesn't have a name on it. Probably would be really good to put like a groundbreaker in front of it. Anyway, I built this one a little bit differently than I normally build my tombstones. If you want to, we put a video on the channel last year on how I build my tombstones out of plywood. For this one, since I had so much of the 5mm plywood left over and some furring strips, I kind of made this one a little bit differently. So I cut out 2 pieces of the 5mm plywood into like this house shape. And then what I did was you can't see it, but I ran some 2x2 inch furring strips along the edges. So this tombstone basically is kind of hollow. And then inside here, I have a piece of PVC running up the middle. So what will happen is on the bottom of the base, and I'll show you in a little bit, I have a hole bored in here so that we can put a piece of rebar on the ground and just slide this tombstone right on. But anyway, I kind of finished this stone off with, I added some trim. I think this is some 1/2 inch plywood. I think these are a 1x4, just a 1x4 inch piece of wood that I had left over. And finally I connected this all to a base. I think this is a 2x6 piece of wood. But anyway, if we take a look at the bottom of this thing, you'll see that I bored this hole here, and inside there is the PVC. So like I said, we'll just run some rebar into this thing, put this right on top, and we'll be good to go. The second tombstone that I made was Ichabod Crane. Actually, my favorite Halloween cartoon ever since I was a kid was the Legend of Sleepy Hollow by Disney. And a couple years back, I made a Horseman tombstone. So I wanted to make an Ichabod one as well, and I finally decided to just do it. This one is how I normally make my tombstones. It's out of different pieces of plywood. So for this stone in particular, the first layer here is a 1/2 inch piece of plywood. This is a 3/4 inch piece of plywood, and then the trim running around the whole tombstone is a 1/2 inch piece of plywood as well. And what I ended up doing was I just connected this plywood with some screws. I think they're 1 1/4 inch screws. I put some furring strips on the bottom and then connected it all to a base. And last is this tombstone is for Dr. Jack Griffin. If you don't know who he is the Invisible Man in the 1933 movie starring Claude Rains. I didn't really know what to do with a design for this thing, so I kind of went for almost like a stained glass window look. Again, this is just like the other one. It's made of 2 pieces of 3/4 inch plywood. This one basically is just kind of like a trim. There's not much to it. I added some 1x4 inch pieces of wood on the bottom, some 2x2 inch furring strips, and then finally attached it all to a base. I think this is a 2x10. So that's the 3 tombstones that I've been working on. And right now I'm actually going to go ahead and start painting these, and I'll let you guys see this when I'm done. Alright guys, so here is a look at the finished tombstones. Basically I kind of painted these all the same. Started off with a gray paint. It was that gray Oops paint that I got over at Home Depot. And then what I did is I sponged on some white, and then I also, after that, I sponged on some gray. And then I have this this Rust-Oleum paint from last year. It's called a Hunt Club Green. It kind of looks moldy or mildewy. So what I did was I ended up misting that onto all the tombstones just to kind of give them like a weathered look. And I actually think that came out kind of cool looking. Overall, I think I'm pretty happy with these. Actually, I think this one right here is my favorite. I don't know why. It's just I think it came out the best out of the 3. I think my least favorite is probably this this Jack Griffin one. I don't know. There's something about it I just can't put my finger on. Just something about it doesn't look right. I don't know, but. Anyway, another thing I wanted to mention, I know that there are some people who live in parts of the country that have a lot of wind and everything. So if you do decide to make these tombstones the way I did, you may want to go over to like your local hardware store and get some of these eye screws. And what I did was last year, the 3 that I made last year did end up blowing over the first time that I put them out. But what I did was I took one of those eye screws and just screwed them into the back of the base here, and then got a heavy-duty camping stake and nailed that right through the screw into the ground, and those things didn't budge the rest of the season. So just something to think about if you live in a climate where it's pretty windy out. But anyway, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please stay tuned. Like I said in the intro, we are going to have other videos coming during the season. I do have a couple of things that I'm going to want to start to work on soon, so just stay tuned for our latest videos. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. We both greatly appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and take care.